beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about some new palettes from Huda Beauty. These are the Haze Obsessions palettes. Huda Beauty sent these over to me, but they will be available in stores and online from Sephora on September 15th. So I'm going to try my very best to get this video up before then for you. These will be priced at $29 US a piece, and they are the exact same shape and size little 9-pan palettes as all the other Obsessions palettes. I was so excited to see that there were new Obsessions palettes. I love the nude Obsessions. Those remain some of my absolute favorite palettes in my collection. The pastel Obsessions just weren't quite my vibe. I'm not a big pastel lover anyway. Plus, all of the pastel Obsessions had really light wash of color, sort of whisper of sparkle, more topper type of shimmers, and I'm somebody, personally, I like shimmer. I like really metallic, liquid metal, really opaque shimmers. And I'm happy to report that we're getting sort of a mix of both across these three palettes. You'll really be able to see the differences in these shimmer formulas when you see the swatches of these palettes. So in today's video, we're going to take a close-up look at each one of these palettes. I'm going to show you finger and brush swatches. I do have some comparisons for 2 out of the 3, and I'm sort of going to give you the overview on my review, and then I'm going to do a second video where I show you eye looks using each one of these. That way you can really see these in action in a second video. I will be posting that as soon as possible. I'll try to make the tutorial video my next upload. We're gonna look up close at each one of these palettes. They all have a heavy-duty plastic outer packaging. They all have a locking clasp closure, so these are not magnetic. Each one has a mirror, and as usual for these Obsessions palettes, they don't have shade names. They're not listed inside, and they're not named on the back of the palette either. So none of these shades have shade names, which is absolutely fine. It does make tutorials a little bit difficult, but in general, not a big deal. This is the Sand Haze palette. I love this packaging that has this sort of blurred look to it. My camera is focusing. That's just what it looks like. I think this is a really cool detail. The packaging looks really sleek, fits the theme. I really like it. In the Sand Haze palette, we have 5 matte shades and then 4 shimmer shades. I know these two look pretty similar on camera, but when we see the swatches here in a minute, you'll be able to tell a better difference. The pans can be a little bit deceptive, especially with these shimmer shades. Next up, we're looking at the Purple Haze palette. I love purple, so I'm always down for a purple palette. As you can tell, got some purple nails here. In the Purple Haze palette, we have 4 mattes and then 5 shimmer shades. These 2 reddish shimmers at the top, I think they look more similar in swatch than they look in the pan. When we look at the swatches, you'll have to pay attention to these 2 red shades at the top and see if you feel the same way I do. Lastly, we have the Khaki Haze palette. This is the one that I'm wearing on my eyes in this video. You can see here 4 shimmers and 5 mattes. Got these little khaki green shades in here. So that is the Khaki Haze palette. Now I want to go ahead and show you the swatches of these 3 palettes. As always, I will be doing both finger and brush swatches. The finger swatches will be pictured on top, and then each brush swatch will be below. For my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, completely dry brush, and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Veramona color switch. That way there's no shadow transfer between swatches. All the swatches are done on the inside of my arm with no primer down first, just the shadow straight onto my skin. So let's take a look at those swatches now. I don't have a comparison for the Khaki Haze palette, but I definitely wanted to show you these two side by side. This is the Sand Haze palette and the Nude Light Obsessions palette. These do have quite a few shades in common, so I do have a swatch comparison between these two. And I also wanted to compare the Purple Haze palette to the Amethyst Obsessions palette. I don't have the Emerald Obsessions, or I would have done that for Khaki Haze, but I don't own that palette. I did want to compare these two, especially because the Amethyst Obsessions palette is super similar to the ColourPop It's My Pleasure. And somebody had asked me on Instagram if I thought It's My Pleasure and this one were similar. So you can kind of by proxy make that comparison here as well, because Amethyst Obsessions and It's My Pleasure are pretty much dupes for each other. So let's take a look at those two comparison swatches now, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I hope that you found those comparisons helpful. I definitely think that Nude Light and Sand Haze have a decent number of shades that are similar enough. Sand Haze is a little bit more muted, where Nude Light has a little bit more pop of purple pink. Sand Haze is a little bit more toned down, kind of neutral, muted, but these are pretty darn similar. Overall, I am super impressed. I'm so happy that we're getting these more intense, rich metallic shades back into the Obsessions palettes. The matte shades are buttery, beautiful, super easy to blend. They apply really easily. I think they look great on the eye. They wear really well. Across the board, formula-wise, I'm really happy with how all three of these palettes have performed for me. Personally, Khaki Haze is my favorite. I just think it's the most unique. This sort of muted olive color scheme, those rich, sultry tones that I really love to see for the fall. It's not overly orangey and warm. I feel like everybody's just kind of over that color story. I love that we have this little cool toned kind of crease shade. Still have a little bit of warmth on the bottom row here, but overall I think this is interesting. It's unique, it's well balanced. It's not such an out there color scheme that most people are going to be very intimidated or not know how to use it. This is my favorite. I kind of can't believe I'm saying that because I always talk about how I don't like green eyeshadow, but this is such a neutral olive khaki green that it's just really flattering. It's really easy to work with. Overall, this one's my favorite. I can't believe I'm picking a green over a purple. What universe are we in? But this one's my favorite. Now, I still like both of these. I think that the formulas are great. Performance-wise, these are completely up to snuff with Khaki Haze. But for me, Sand Haze feels a little bit like the safe option, and I do see this working well for a lot of people. I love a neutral palette. I'm not here to hate on a neutral color scheme. This one's maybe just a little too similar to my Nude Light palette for me. And don't get me wrong, I love purple eyeshadow. It's still one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow colors to wear, and I do think that this one's really beautiful. The purples in here are great. I'm especially impressed by this deep purple matte shade. So often purple shades like this are really dry and really patchy, and this one is just really rich and smooth. Super happy with that. I think the main thing holding me back from being as crazy about this one as I am about the khaki one is these two red shades on top. I'm a little bit confused why these are both in here. They look so similar once they're applied, and then they're right in here next to each other. As soon as I swatched them, I thought I had made a mistake and accidentally swatched the same shadow twice, and I didn't. They just look incredibly similar to each other. Maybe if one of these had been a matte in the same purpley red color, that could have really elevated this palette for me. Still good, it's just not my absolute favorite one of the three. Now, with all of my opinions out there, I will say I still recommend any of these palettes. If these two are more your style and you think you're gonna reach for these colors more day to day, I still think these are incredibly good palettes. I still think you will be very, very happy with them. And overall, I highly recommend all three of these. I think that the Haze Obsessions palettes are a smash hit. I'm so, so happy, especially after I was not obsessed with the pastel obsessions. These really rich, kind of muted jewel tone colors are exactly what I want to see for fall. It feels really chic. It feels really sophisticated. I just am crazy about this release. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Love it, love it, love it. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will be posting a second video with tutorials from all three of these palettes. If you want to see them in action, you want to get some ideas for eye looks, make sure you keep an eye out for that. That will be coming to you very soon. Now's the time when I want to hear what you thought about these Haze Obsessions palettes. Are you interested? Are you going to be picking any of these up? Which one is your favorite? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! That way... What's she talking about? They all have a heavy duty... Huh? I don't really have any... What am I talking about? Let me just regroup for a second because I don't even know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know, you're not gonna know. Shades and I don't even know where that was going. Nude haze. No, 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 no. See, that's how similar they are. I will do okay, I need a lip gloss break because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey. Ooh, I got a little taste of it and it tastes good. Don't eat your makeup. Disclaimer. Do as I say, not as I do. Who knew that olive green glam would have me feeling myself as much as I am right now? Ooh. Also, can we take a moment to talk about this cheek combo? Because it's from Rare Beauty. I will be posting a video about it soon, but I love it. I feel like I look like a fresh, dewy little maiden frolicking in a field with these with these glowy dewy cheeks. Was that oddly specific? Maybe. But was I wrong? Okay. I gotta get my life together. I gotta edit this video so that you can see it before these palettes launch, so that you can make good purchasing decisions and enjoy the things that you spend your hard-earned money on. You know why? 'Cause I love your face. Don't forget to register to vote. Don't forget to take your mask. Go wash your cotton mask now. I love your face so much. I want you to keep it healthy. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.